Hello, we're here to talk about the 2006 through 2010 Infiniti M45, M35 again. And the first part of the generation was the 2006 through 2007. Then 2008, 9, 10 came with that. So, again, I did a video initially. It was, I wouldn't say unrefined, but it was a little raw. It was just trying to touch on the things I could see immediately. So one of the first differences you usually see is the taillights. Let's work from the outside going in. The taillights, look at that. This one right here is the 06. This is an 08. So obviously there's some differences, right? Larger taillights, the way they look. It changes the profile of the car quite a lot. And the reverse light, as you can see, that's a large circle. Well, it's a much smaller, less conspicuous LED shape right there. So that's one of the differences. Another thing you'll notice is the bumper cover, the rear, right? So the rear bumper cover right here, this one, it's body colored to a point, then it's painted black at the very bottom. I'll get a little closer so you can see that. However, this one here is body colored all the way to the bottom, right? So that's how that looks. Versus this one here, as I said, it's got black paint at the very bottom. The lip is black, right? And that's uniform. It's part of it. It's not detachable. So otherwise, the tail light, the way the bumper cover attaches to the body is pretty similar. They're replaceable. The rear, the quarter panel is where the difference is, right? You cannot use this taillight in place of this. You cannot do that in place of that, vice versa, right? However, the bumper cover is usually shareable, right? As you can see, the sides of the car, they look pretty similar. The doors are the same, the side mirrors are the same, the handles, everything of the biggest structures is the same. The deck lid, there's a slight difference. And you'll notice here, look at this shape right here, right? It's shaped a little differently, right? Look at that, right? So these both go like this. And this one right here is pretty much the same, and I'm trying to see how do I actually show the difference. Is it taller, longer? Well, what's the difference? I know they're not replaceable. I've tried it. Well, for one, the obvious reason being the taillight is shaped differently, right? This one in here, believe it or not, it does not look like much right now, but this is much larger than the other one. So that's one of the differences, right? And maybe I should bring out my tape measure so I can measure this. By the way, I had to get a tape measure so that to make sure I wasn't just making up stuff. So here you go. Check this rear. This chrome piece right here it's approximately 27 inches. All right. So that's what this one is. Then the lower one is what, 20? What'd you say, 20? Yeah. So the lower one is about 20 inches, right? Come to the 06 and measure that. The top one is about 24, and the lower one would be what, 17? Yep, sure enough, 17. So yeah, there is a difference. It's a lot wider on the other side, and I'd mentioned something about the taillight height. So let's check this one. So right here, the inner taillight is approximately 6 inches, right? Versus this one here, which is, surprise, just 6.5. Half an inch makes a difference, huh? Right. So, and then otherwise, as you can see, the bumper is not too different. The contours are the same, right? I didn't get to pop any of the trunks, did I? Tires I was going to replace, right? Both of them have cameras down here. But yeah, similar stuff. Siblis is the name of the shock. unleaded, right? That needs a little bit of cleaning in there. And on this side in '08, it says nothing. I wonder, was that replaced or what? No idea, but oh well. Okay, it shut itself. Feels like it was replaced because typically the Nissans say something. Oh well. So we'll go ahead and shut it. That was a little stiffer going down. The deck lid, I think, actually is the same deck lid for the most part. Both of them had the option of a spoiler. This spoiler right here, this deck lid spoiler, which should work on either trunk. And then, so one of the differences in the back was that if you had an all-wheel drive, it would say M35X or M45X whenever they were introduced here. However, if you had sport in 2006 and 7, this is all you got, right? Then you got wheels that actually showed you, well, that's most likely a sport model, and the headlamps as well, they had the dark tint. However, in 2008 and up, if you had a sport model, you had the S that came with it. So that was pretty cool, right? Otherwise, as I said, the side profile is the same, right? Well, apart from the taillight. The taillight does change the game quite a little, right? So this is them. And that's a side profile, right? I should mention something here. I know it looks a little different. The exhaust part of it, they were both quad tips. Both cars had four tips, and the only difference is that the chrome pieces, some of the chrome pieces of that one fell off, so I decided to just remove it so that it didn't look imbalanced. Otherwise, as you can see, hopefully you can see it pretty clearly here, this bumper is smooth at the bottom, the bumper cover is smooth at the bottom. However, when you come here, it's got some features, right? Cosmetic, and also for the air effect, right? So that's it for the back. That's where most of the action was. Third brake light, right? You can barely see that brake light over there, but since none of these cars came with a deck lid that had a brake light on it, so all of them have the third brake lights inside there, and this one's a good one to see. I think the rear glass was replaced at some point. That's why the side mirrors, side windows are tinted, and this one's not, right? Anyway, so we got that going on. As I said, pretty similar for most parts. You know, same doors, mostly same side mirrors. Some of the differences is the side. These doors originally came with body colored side molding, as you can see here. However, this one's here in 2008 got chrome, so you can see that's reflective, and this one's not. Well, the paint's good, shows out the car pretty nicely, right? So come in here. When it comes to the front, maybe you'll notice a few more distinctions between the cars. In my previous video, I talked about the side repeater light, right? This one's longer, and the chrome is a little hidden. It doesn't look as blingy as this one right here, '06, right? It's wider up. Just has an illusion of being shorter, but I'd say the length is pretty much the same, just wider and less rounded. And obviously you can see so much metal, so much chrome. Then comes to the front. The fronts of the cars, the headlamps are similar. They're the same lights, really. That's just faded, but they're the same headlamps. Another thing I just realized is, did I mention the headlights? Right? I just said that the headlights are the same between the 2 years, or the 2 half generations. However, well, this one's obviously a little faded, but you can see the housing inside there. It is dark. That was a sport model thing, because the base model cars came with this plain, you know, just look at them, compare versus that, right? I hope it shows up clearly. The housing is black over there, and this one is just chrome. Okay, just something else to note. So that's another way, in case you're looking for a real authentic sport model. That's what you look out for. All right, cool. I've talked about this in my previous video, where the grill is slightly different. You look at it, you know, it's all horizontal, and you can see right there, maybe you can, right here in the grill, you got a slot cut out for, you know, this is how you get access to your latch to open your hood. Then come here, well, and I'll talk about this is a different story. This is actually pretty common. It's a design problem with these cars, and I'm happy that Infiniti went away from that chrome strip over there, right? You can see it over there. This one had it till yesterday at about, I don't know, at 10:30 a.m. and at about 79 miles an hour. Once I hit 80, off it went. So I'll replace that eventually. But as you can see here, yeah, you do have that cutout over here. We'll look at it a little better once I pop the hood. But you look at this, it looks, the chrome is much more evident, right? Much thicker. And two, you see these dots over here. I don't know if it was supposed to harken back to some Gatling gun or some form of a fighter. I'm not sure, but you know, you can see the dots in between, right? So it looks like you got a bunch of little rectangles. Two, both of these are sport models, and here, whether you had the sport model or the base model, you got the same front bumper. It was the same thing, right? However, here you got different bumpers. This one is a sport model bumper, and looks a little pleasing. It has an interesting, I don't know, like a smile face to it. Obviously that's kind of what the newer Infinitis came to be, a little bit of that design. But as you can see here, one of the differences that I'll talk about is, see this opening here? This is what gives you access to your tow hook, right? At least your tow hook attachment point. Remove this this cover over here and you'll get to it. Your lane departure, this is your intelligent cruise control LiDAR camera. And on this side, you had, you know, you had two pieces of your trim over here, and then this one here. This one doesn't have it, but I'm showing it on a different one where the cutout was right here. If you had intelligent cruise control, right over here. Otherwise, they had this part right here, and as you can see underneath here, this is your tow hook attachment point, where you'd always bang onto your license plate whenever you try to use it. And not only that, this I suppose being under the car a few times, I've grabbed onto it and hear making weird sounds. I've actually broken one in my old cars, so you know, different design. I'm glad they changed that. As I said, the other things they changed for the sake of change, it seems like, right? But I think it's a handsome vehicle. Both of them are. You know, not too much changed with the windshield. I said this, like this one here is, you know, with regards to features, it's as basic as they come, right? So you do not have to cut out for the lane departure camera. Then here, this one isn't loaded, and you could get this in 06 and 07 as well. The lane departure camera is right here, so you'll see there's a cutout right here, right? So not only that, this one is specific to my 08. I don't think every 08 came with this, but mine has the intelligent, the automatic windshield wiper. So behind here you have this sensor, so you have a hole right here as well. So this is just some of the ways when you I've talked about it in a different video. If you're trying to buy a fully loaded M35, M45, that's how you look for it. So I'll open the doors and we'll check the insides. Pop the hood. And so here's the design thing I was talking about. Usually when you pop the hood, most people, right, would come in and just grab the front edge of the hood, right, whatever's there, right? So which in this case would be right here, right, just right here. Well, the problem is if you grab it right there, by the way, let's see that gap I was talking about. There you go. The problem is, look at the hood. If you grab it right there, most times you're going to be grabbing this piece. As you can see moving, right? So that's a problem. That's a problem. As I said, they went away from that in the future years. But so usually what I say when you come to open these cars, get your hand all the way in there, so that you're grabbing on metal and not the chrome piece. So anyway, and here it goes. I said the cars are the same. All right. So this engine, it's got about 59,000 miles on it, brand new engine. This one, let's say 60,000 or so, who knows. It's a replacement engine. So some things that are constant, you really can't avoid some of these things with these cars. One here, I used to think it was just for replaced engines because this has to get dinged a little bit, but no, I think it's just it's an engine feature. And of course it's so cumbersome to get to the battery. You have to remove you know, half the trim pieces over here, so some things that suffer, like this one right here, all right? And then come to this car. As I said, this one, well, obviously had an engine replacement, but as you can see, you know, small things. Man, I should actually take the time and make a buying guide for these cars. But I'll tell you what, one of the most important things when buying one of these cars, N45, oil. Always got to check the oil. Check it cold, make sure the engine has not been run, make sure it's at the right level. All right, this one's good, but again, it's slanted downhill. And two, then start the car. The VK45 DE engine is a little loud at startup, a little, but honestly, once it warms up, you cannot even tell that the engine is running. It goes to Lexus levels, right? But I'd say that's I mean, it's a manufacturer feature with, you know, the warm-up, open loop and warm-up period of it. But not only that, it's just Nissans in general are pretty loud at startup. So let's start this baby. Once I check the oil, right? The 08. It's gonna settle out pretty soon. Alright, so let's start this other one. Has a pulley that's a little on the squeaky side, but we'll get to it. Some of that. Right. So while those are running, waiting for them to get to warm up. One other thing I wanted to talk about was, you know, sport models, and not only sport models. Actually, this was more of an option thing. In 2006, you could get the Aero kit where you had, you know, more aggressive side skirts. You had a front lip, you know. In 2008 and up, you could not get any of those. This was as aggressive as you get, the sport model kit, right? And I talked about the wheels in my other video, right? The differences in the cars. Well, this one's been carved something fierce. But what you could do, what you could get at least with these wheels was that in 2006 and 7, the sport models got these 19-inch wheels, right? Nice wheels. You could actually get them in chrome as well. The standard model got 18-inch wheels. And in 2008, well, this one's the wrong wheel for this car, but you know, you had a different type of wheel. I'll show what that is. Just wanted to point that as a reminder in case people see this and think, oh well, look at that, I want one of those. The brakes were all the same, 2008, all 2006 through 2010, and even the sport models, this is not original to this car. Even the sport models got just the regular brakes, right? And that doesn't really show it, so let me jump to this side. There you go. Well, let me I can't really show it well right now, but they all have the same thing. So this is what the base model wheel for the 2006 and 7 looked like, right there. And then again, remember in 2008, 9, 10, this is what the sport model got for the wheels, right? This one right here. So pretty cool. 19-inch wheel as well, 19 by 8.5, right? Nice, pretty lightweight for what it is. I mean, obviously wheels change, but for 19-inch 8.5 wide wheels, they were really good, right? So as I said, not too much difference in the cars. They didn't really change too much of the trim pieces either. Just the rear is kind of where a lot of the work went on. Otherwise it was pretty much the same car, you know. Let's say shark fin antenna right there, same thing going on over here, right? Pretty cool. Same thing. Sunroof, I think, no, this was, yeah, so at least in 2006 they came up with a tinted sunroof, because in earlier Nissans your sunroof was not tinted. I always had to tint those, right? So pretty cool. Well equipped cars, I'd say. So here we go. You can hear a little bit of the chatter with this one, but it's actually pretty quiet. Just a little bit of shake, just a little bit, but I'd say maybe it needs to get run a little more. This one right here, the squeaking is gone. You can still hear a little bit of chatter, but it's a smooth engine, right? It probably will not pass the wine glass test like a Lexus LS 400 engine would, but these are quiet engines, right? So let's shut this. I need to wipe that up. I'm just tired of seeing it. I was checking the oil earlier and spilled a little bit. There you go. It's crazy how much difference a thin, lightweight aluminum hood would make. But once you shut it, you can barely hear this one running. You have to get inside to actually see it, you know. You can feel it a little bit, but this one seems a little, you know, it's quiet, you know. You can barely tell that they're running. I mean, the exhaust notes are pretty good. Both of them, actually. Alright. So, interesting. They have a weird interference when you run two M45 side to side. It amplifies the exhaust. Woo, woo, woo. Sounds a little lopey. Just a little. But, so, here you go, man. I mean, these are the cars. Hopefully this one's going to be a lot longer, for sure. No doubt about it. However, I hope it's a little more relevant, a little more detailed, a little more, you know, thorough in the things I covered. This is a daytime video, but I'm gonna come back at night and we'll talk about it, see what's different and what stayed the same. Okay, I mean, at night it'll just be a difference in the light show. We'll just basically pan around in a lit up car, and then you'll be able to see what looks different. We're gonna have to say goodbye for now, and we'll deal with everything else later.